Hi everyone, this video is going to explain the differences between interlibrary loan and UBorrow, including when and how to use them. There are some differences between ILL and UBorrow, the most important of which are what materials are available and how you would make your request. UBorrow allows you to borrow any book from universities across Florida. When you make a UBorrow request, it is first sent to FAMU and TSC. If they cannot fill the request, it gets sent to universities between Pensacola and Jacksonville. Then, if they can't fill the request either, it goes statewide. ILL allows you to borrow books except for textbooks or treatises and get scans of journal or newspaper articles. ILL requests are filled from libraries across the contiguous United States. When making a UBorrow request, use the form in the catalog. When making an ILL request, use the Ask a Librarian form on the Research Center website or email ill@law.fsu.edu. Sometimes an ILL request form, similar to the UBorrow request form, will appear in the catalog. Please don't use that. Your request will be sent to the main campus library, not the Research Center. This is a quick flowchart you can check to see if you should be using ILL or UBorrow. Remember, you make a UBorrow request by using the form in the catalog and an ILL request by emailing ill@law.fsu.edu or using the Ask a Librarian form on the Research Center website. When making an ILL request, please send the entire citation, including any relevant page numbers. Start out with the FSU catalog and databases. Hein is a really good place to check, but don't forget that Lexis, Westlaw, Gale, and more have their own journals. Lexis and Westlaw don't always link to the catalog either. And don't underestimate the power of a Google search. If whatever you're looking for is in one of those places, then great. If not, what happens next depends on what kind of source you need. For the most part, you'll probably find what you're looking for through UBorrow. You can't get entire textbooks or treatises through ILL. However, with UBorrow, libraries lend textbooks on a case-by-case basis. For example, if you need an older edition or if the library has multiple copies, they will be more likely to lend. If you don't see the textbook you need listed through UBorrow, or if the request is denied, ILL can get scans of specific page ranges. Keep in mind that it is faster for a library to scan and email some pages than to ship a whole book. If you need a journal or newspaper article, you may see the journal title listed under UBorrow. However, if you click on the title, it will say no available services for the item. This means you will have to make an ILL request. If you need a normal book, again, check UBorrow. If it isn't there, make an ILL request. The following slides will go through different examples of when and how to make ILL and UBorrow requests. Say in the process of subciting or doing your upper level writing assignment, you find that you need the book Mind, A Journey to the Heart of Being Human. Your first step is to go to the FSU catalog and type in the title. When you first make a search, the default is only items in the FSU catalog. As you can see, there's only an article on the book, but we want the actual book. So filter to books just to make sure it isn't somewhere lower down in the search results. The title still doesn't show, so we go to statewide catalog. This expands your search to other university libraries in Florida. Just like that, the title shows up. When you click on it, assuming you have already signed in, the option for UBorrow request should appear. Click on that and make sure to change the pickup location to FSU Law Library. All other fields, including your contact email, should be auto-populated. If you try to UBorrow something from a journal or newspaper, you will probably get the message, "No services available for this item." In this scenario, let's say you need an article from the Environmental Law Desk Book. As you can see, we've gone through the FSU catalog, narrowed to journals, and nothing has come up. Moving to the statewide catalog, one result does come up, but that "No services" message comes up. At this point, you would go to the Research Center website and use the Ask a Librarian form or email ill@law.fsu.edu. Regardless of which contact option you choose, be sure to include the entire citation. Shown here is the Ask a Librarian form. Textbooks and treatises can go one of two ways. Let's say you need the 1983 edition of Problems in Hospital Law. The Research Center has the 1978 edition and 1968 edition, but not 1983. After filtering to books, it's still not there. When we go to the statewide catalog, we see the correct edition available. So you would click on the title and make the request. If one of the universities fills the request, then you can get the entire book. However, the length of time it takes to get here depends on where it comes from. A book sent from FAMU is going to get here a lot faster than a book from FIU. If no library decides to fill the request, email ill@law.fsu.edu or use the Ask a Librarian form with the full citation and whatever pages you need. A request for those pages will be put in. If you need a whole book, the process starts the same as for UBorrow. Type in the title in the catalog search bar and expand to statewide catalog. One of two things is going to happen. Either the book still isn't going to be there, or it will be there, but instead of having UBorrow request as the option, it will say request through Interlibrary Loan. Here, no records were found. If the request through Interlibrary Loan option had appeared, please do not click it. Your request would not have been sent to the Research Center. Regardless of whether the request through Interlibrary Loan option had appeared, or, as in this case, the title does not appear, email ill@law.fsu.edu or use the Ask a Librarian form on the Research Center website with the full citation. If you take away nothing else from this video, just remember this. First, try the catalog, databases, and the internet. If you can't find what you're looking for and you need a book, try the statewide catalog. Then try ILL. If you need a scan or an article, go to ILL. And when using ILL, email ill@law.fsu.edu or use the Ask a Librarian form. If you have any general questions, you can always email studentref@law.fsu.edu. Thanks for watching.